Okay, we're going to create the operations types now. So the operations types are used for, it's what you select when you're doing a transfer. If you're going to do a manual transfer between locations or whatever, it's the operations type is what you select out from the drop down box. So you can see here for I've got receipts for goods coming into the distribution centre. I've got internal transfers for moving things around inside the distribution centre, and then I've got my delivery orders for taking things out of the distribution centre. So this we want another couple of these types of things that we need to configure here. So I'll do the first one, which is just really our DC going out to any of our stores. So we're going to take stock from the DC and put it into the stores, but remember we've got a two-step process in this case. So think of it, we're going to take it out of the distribution centre, we're going to put it on a truck, and then that'll be that part of it finished. When it gets to the truck, gets to the store, it's going to take it off the truck and put it into the store, and that's the second part of the process. So this is the first part where we're manually taking it from our stock and putting it on the truck. So, and we're going to use a rule later on to do the other half of that, but I'll take you through that later. So the operations type in this case is we're going to be an internal transfer, even though we're sending it out. You'll still see why that makes sense later. I'm going to give this code of dist. Distribution center is good, and we're going to take it from our DC stock and put it into our transit. So this allows us to transfer from our distribution center to any store, and that's why I haven't picked out any particular store here. When this transfer is used, the guys will be able to select which store it's going to from the drop down list, rather than us being very specific and creating an operation type for every single store. If you've got a lot of stores, that could be very cumbersome, so you don't want to do that. Also want to tick the box for manage entire package, which is one of the requirements we've got for this particular thing, and we can save that one. Alright, that's our first one done. Just double check everything's good there. So we've got new. The new next one is going to be our what I'm going to call this store one. I'm going to say we're going to take it back to the DC. I'm going to call this returns. So let's say I've got excess stock or expired stock or outdated stock, or just an excess of stock in store one. We then might want to ship that back to our distribution centre so then it can be either redistributed or got disposed of, or whatever the case may be. So the operation is going to be an internal transfer from the store one. It's going to be in the store one's warehouse, and we're going to move into our packages again, and then the source is going to be store one stock. So we're going to take it out of store one stock, and we're going to put it into our DC returns location. So internal, I'll give this a prefix code of S1R. So it's a different code to the one we've thinking before. We used STR1. So again, this will you input whatever you like in there, but try not to duplicate the same sequence codes, because that'll make things very confusing if the system allows you to. So is there anything else by that? No, that should be good. So, and then I want to create another one. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to copy this just because I'm lazy, and change the 1 to a 2. Then I'm going to S2R. This is for store 2's warehouse. That's all good. Move entire packages. Source is going to be store 2 stock, and it's going to be to the returns area. So save. Alright, let me get my diagram back up again so we can see what's going on here. So we've just created these red ones. So 1 to the DC returns and 2 to the DC returns. So these red ones are all the ones that we use operations types to do the moving around. We created that one, we combine those two into one, where we're taking from the DC and we're going to be able to pick out any store. And then we'll use specific ones here, taking it from store 2 to the DC returns, or the second one we did was the store 1 to DC returns. And then we're going to use some pull rules to then go and say, when you find something in this location, stick it into my warehouse, and that will create a receipt order automatically that the guys will then go and validate. So another way to look at this is store 2's got excess stock, so store 2 wants to put on a truck, so they use that transfer, the operations type, to go and put on the truck, and then on the truck, and then at some point that truck will then go and deliver it to the distribution centre, so that's going to be received by the distribution centre, if that makes sense. Okay.